Well, I'm back working on the JCPenney garden tractor. Had an electrical issue that I just managed to work out. I'm gonna check for spark with my inline spark tester. Let's see if it's got spark. If it's got spark, I'll give it a shot of carb spray and see if it runs. So I've discovered now that the JCPenney has no spark. I'm gonna have to replace this ignition coil. Except there's a problem with that. And that problem is somebody has snapped one of the bolts off. And then this one over here is rusted right on. Well, the unexpected happened. I was trying to remove the bolt that goes to the coil, and I snapped the aluminum post off. So, I got an idea to fix this. I know someone that's getting rid of a Craftsman mower with one of these here opposed twin Briggs engines on. It's missing a bunch of miscellaneous parts such as the starter, carburetor, but it does turn over and has compression. So I'm gonna try to make one good motor out of this motor and that one. Well, I just got the parts tractor home. I'll start digging away at it as soon as I can. I'm hoping that I can piece one good motor from this one and the one that came out of the JCPenney. I should be able to. So this is the motor out of that Craftsman. I'm going to try to piece one good motor together out of this one and this one. Now this one, it turns over, has compression, even has a nice compression release. It's just got a few things. I see that the flywheel is busted on this one. It's missing the starter, carburetor. The oil actually wasn't that bad when I drained it. So I think I got myself a good motor here. But what I am going to do before I start assembling one good motor is I'm going to take both heads off this. Clean the heads. Head is actually pretty good, the cylinder wall is. It's nice and smooth on the inside, it just needs a good cleaning. Clean up the carbon buildup. Alright, now let's check the other side. Oh, not bad at all for a motor that came out of a junk machine. I just got the cylinder wall cleaned up along with both heads. Cleaned up pretty good, I'd say. Looks just like new. So now I'm having starter issues with that motor. This starter here, it's pretty much burned up. I got this starter here that I saved off another mower. And what I'm going to try to do, piece one good starter out of two. The difference is between these two is this one has the plastic gear, this one's got the steel gear, and obviously the way they bolt on is different. If I look at them side by side, they're both the same height, they're basically the same starters, just the head and the bendixes are different. So I'm going to try to take them both apart, make one good one out of two. So this roll pin is such a bugger to get off that I've just decided the best way to get it off is to just cut it off at this point. There, it's off. Alright, I got the pin off this starter. So it's very important that when you take these starters apart, that you make sure everything goes back how it came together. See, there's that cap, there's a spring, there's a curved washer, curved, and then this last one is flat. Has to go on that order. And then the appendix just comes out, and then I can take the plastic one I took off the other one, make sure the curved end is up, and it fits. All I got left to change is this, where it bolts on, and put this starter on the motor and see if it works. Should work a heck of a lot better. Still cranking hard. Looks like I'm gonna have to go in and check the valves. Surely that's the problem. Alright, that's the problem for sure. These valves are way out of adjustment. I can move, like this one here, I could turn this one. They're way out of adjustment. So this engine needs a valve job on this side of the cylinder. This side over here is good. I've already tested the clearance with my feeler gauge, and it's within spec on both of them. And when I come over here to this side, well, I got it apart, but it's way tight. There should be a clearance in between. So what I gotta do is file the stem and then go back and check it until I can get a good fit within spec. There, I got the first valve adjusted to the right spec. I can take my feeler gauge, and that's 4 5/1000ths. Now I gotta do this bottom one. Now this bottom one is so off that if I stick camera up in the exhaust port, you could see daylight right through the other valve. See? So this bottom one, this exhaust valve, is off quite far. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the valve out, and I'm gonna get it close with the bench grinder, and then finish off with the file. So while the motor's out, I got a couple things I want to do to this. I want to replace this cable, and I want to make a new battery tray for this. This one's all rotted. It's had it. I'm gonna have to. I can't even unscrew it. I'm gonna have to take the Sawzall and cut it out in order to get this off. And then probably wouldn't be a bad idea to. Well, I'm probably gonna have to take it back off anyway in the spring, since I'm thinking of repainting this whole machine just to make it look good. So I'm gonna grab a tape and get some measurements for this. Got 10 5/8 across. About 5 1/4. About 1 inch. This is what I'm going to use to make that battery tray. I'm just going to use a piece of scrap metal. I'm just going to have to cut it to the right length, and then we'll do the bends on that box fan brake right there. Alright, I got the steel cut to length, squared, and laid out. So now I'm ready to bend it on the pan brake. now have a battery tray. Let's test it out. There. It fits, with plenty of room to spare. Now I just gotta get it painted. Just sand the sharp edges off, file them off, and I'm gonna paint this. The new battery tray is in. Not perfect, but it's at least better than it was. I just gotta drill new holes, tap, and then bolt it back together. I've decided on making this a two-part series. This first part is already getting long enough as it is. So, and it's getting kind of too cold to be doing anything. So there's a few things I want to do to this in the meantime. I want to replace the plastic cooling fins. It's broke. It's for a machine I want to rely on. I'm gonna replace it, and then I gotta figure out something for the exhaust. The original muffler that came on the original motor was all rotted, so I took this off the LT1000 that this motor came off in. Except it hooks up different, so I'm gonna come up with an idea. I don't know what I'll come up with. You'll see it in the second part what I come up with. But I just gotta figure something to hook this muffler up. I did originally want to take the flywheel off the original motor, put it on this, except I can't get the flywheel off the original motor off. The 1.25" bolt, it's rusted in so bad, and the corners have been rounded off by someone previously. I can't get it off. So I'm just gonna use what I got here. So stay tuned and for the second part of the series.